Muslims rule deep in UK. They're not gonna do nothing. If they do anything, it's gonna be all out war. There's no way.
They say that. It makes me look like a linebacker.
Why? Because the shoulder pad looking thing?
Yeah, like that's crazy. This is another find from Ridgeway Plaza.
Which no longer exists. Well, in its original state.
What do you mean?
Like they started cracking down on it.
Ridgeway?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
You never heard about the crackdown on Ridgeway?
Are you talking about the time that it was like one of the Southeast Asian countries had their Independence Day and they were like...
Yeah, and I think since then they've stopped any like big groups from basically if you're there with I think like 3 or more people or whatever and you're just loitering, like you're just hanging out, they'll like usher you out of the place.
Oh, honestly it's been a couple weeks.
Yeah, there's been like a whole fight and everything with the cops, not cops but like the businesses, because they're like you're pushing away our businesses, all that stuff. Yeah, interesting.
Have you been yet?
No,
we should go.
It's not going to be the same.
No, I think it will be.
Okay, we'll check it out. But I feel it's lost its luster at this. Well, not lost its luster. It's been like they've been forcibly displaced.
No, they have not. They have not. And you know what's crazy is I went to Isna, which is a mosque in Mississauga, on Thursday. So we're filming this on Friday, but I was there yesterday, and Sheikh Abdurrahman Murphy was here from Dallas.
Yeah.
And he referenced Ridgeway so many times.
No, he didn't.
He's a fan.
No, that's just a new thing. Like, you know, when like they hear, oh, like this is the thing in this city. Like how I think in Dallas they have, what did they have there? They had that cafe, the Yemeni coffee spot.
Kamaria?
Yeah, Kamaria. I'm sure that came up in all the sheikh's conversations or lessons back in Dallas. Ridgeway Plaza is probably the same thing right now.
I feel like he's been here a few times, no?
Oh yeah, he's probably well versed with Toronto at this point.
So he knows Mississauga is where it's at. But also we have a Kamaria here too. And I went there.
We? Oh yeah. Okay.
I finally got to go, and first of all, it's in a cute area in Mississauga called Streetsville, but the actual coffee shop is like, Scarborough needs these kind of places.
Oh, is it like super chill and like almost like how we saw it last time in Dallas? I forget what that place was called.
Haraz.
Yeah, exactly.
Haraz was a nice place. It was like that place was dead. I don't know why. Maybe because it was like
Haraz was dead.
Yeah, when we went. Oh, you're talking about Crescent?
Maybe there's one that was like there's one that was across the street from like a what's that place? It has like its purple sign. Oh my god, I'm forgetting the name right now.
There was a coffee spot there?
Yeah. You know what? That's not important. It's whatever. Okay. Yeah. Welcome back, guys, to another episode of the Cousin
Connection
podcast.
So we missed a week.
Yeah, but you know, it happens. Okay, and you guys already know at this point.
Yeah,
we're gonna just stop addressing it. It's whatever. Okay. It's gonna happen again.
You know. Yeah. Maybe if you guys get us to 10K, we'll be more
exactly. Make it our day jobs, and we would never.
We would clock in. We would be on our Zoom.
Exactly. Okay. And to do that, you know what to do already. Hit that subscribe button.
And
like the video.
Yeah.
Comment.
Yeah.
Follow us on Instagram and TikTok.
Exactly.
At Cousin Connection Pod.
Exactly.
Okay, there you go. I just want to make sure did I ace the pop quiz?
You did. He was looking at me for confirmation. He was like,
I was like, is that what she's referencing?
Yeah, that was exactly what it was. Yeah. So this week we're not matching.
Oh yeah. I actually picked this shirt up from a little, what do they call those things? A market? Oh my God.
Flea market.
Not flea market. It's like a farmer's market where like they have different vendors. Oh, it's like the St. Lawrence market.
Oh.
Yeah, but like without the clothes. Basically, yeah, it's basically
without the food.
Without the food. Yeah.
You said without the clothes.
Without the food. My bad. There's a word for it. I'm just forgetting what it was. But I went to the Parkdale one. Unfortunately, there weren't like a lot of people, mainly because of what I was mentioning. Like the entrance didn't really make it look like. I feel like you need to work on that. But because there weren't a lot of people, we got to have no interruptions as we kind of like looked at all the booths. It was kind of awkward though.
Why?
Because like when there's literally only like 2 or 3 people in there, like customers, but there's like 15 to 20 booths. Everyone's looking at you as you're walking through, and you're like, there's one hijabi girl who was in there, and like I think we even mentioned like, hey girl, you gotta know your market, because like she had a lot of like Muslim calligraphy and
nice.
Stuff like that. It's really nice, but like the area itself, we were probably the only Muslims in that whole area altogether.
They need to advertise it.
Yeah, but we got a couple things from her too. So like they're actually, the thing is that like even though there weren't a lot of people there, they had a lot of good stuff. Like we had someone there who was giving away like $10 drawings where basically they take a picture of you and they draw you together with your partner. Like me and Hanan got one together where they draw it to you within 5 minutes. They draw something for you. So we got one of those, and there's like some people selling sweets. But also the thing I was leading to is that this shirt, I actually picked it up because they had someone who was selling like vintage shirts.
That's nice. I like it.
Yeah, so I got this one for like $20.
No way.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I got another one. This one was like Raptors. I've got one for Toronto. I mean, Blue Jays. Gotta rep my Toronto. I don't watch them, but I'm trying to rep my city, okay? I saw this out immediately. When they heard the price, I was like, yo, get me both of them. I'm taking it up right now. So yeah, it was a really nice market. Like they had a lot of good options. There's one girl who did a lot of embroidery.
Oh, cool.
Right? Is embroidery where you like, not embroidery, is where you sew stuff.
Yeah.
Is that it? Yeah, she did that where like she can make like custom figures of you, but embroidered.
Wait,
them.
That's not embroidery. Embroidery is like embroidery. Stitching.
Yeah, exactly. So what is it called again? It's called
sewing.
Sewing.
Knitting.
Yeah, we definitely know. Like we're podcasting, guys. It's like 181 episodes, and we're already just messing up. We don't know words. We're forgetting
like
words.
Rag dolls.
Yeah, but
not
like
rag dolls.
they sew them together. What do you call that?
A rag doll.
Knitting. Yes.
I said knitting.
Did you say knitting?
Yeah.
Oh, my bad. I didn't
You
hear
didn't
that.
hear me?
Guys,
sorry, didn't I say knitting? I feel like I said it.
Yeah, but she would like knit like doll figures, and she could make like custom ones of you. And then she also had like other things. She actually had like cat ones that were like, oh, you know what? We took a card because we were like, oh, we can like get one of our cats or whatever. So we were thinking about that. But they had a lot of cool stuff. But I definitely, cool. That was one reason I was leaning to that is because this is where I picked up that shirt that I'm wearing right now. So that was fun.
Nice.
But yeah, I kind of went on a tangent there.
That's okay.
Let's get into the news, Sara.
Yeah, this is going to be a news-heavy podcast. So listen at your own, not risk, but at your own leisure. Mm-hmm. Sometimes
I'm sure people are interested in like everything. Everyone knows half these things that are going on, no? I feel like you can't miss half these stories.
Yeah, if you're online, you would have seen literally everything that we're talking about today.
And if you're not, you're learning something new. So
exactly.
Buckle up. But the first thing we're going to talk about, which is probably the biggest news right now. Should we start off with that one? It's the most controversial news.
Yeah, let's talk about it because I have some thoughts.
Yeah, so should I start out here? So, if you haven't heard, a big influencer called Charlie Kirk was unalived.
Is he an influencer? I thought he was like a...
What?
Someone part of the government. Is he?
No, he's an influencer. Yeah, oh. He's a talking head. He's a a right wing figure basically, right?
Gotcha.
So yeah, Charlie Kirk was unalived intentionally by someone who can we say that word? The Assassin's Creed.
You know what we're talking about.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Basically, he got Assassin's Creed with a Glock, a pew pew.
A big one.
Yeah. See how we're trying to like really just cut her out? Because we were actually warned that like
Orange Man is after us, okay?
Yeah, no, apparently we were like, this is a thing where they said that if anyone talks negatively about this thing, like you could be put on the list. So, we'll kind of walk on a few eggshells here, okay? Yeah. But yeah, he was unalived at one of his events that he was having in Utah, where he's doing this tour where he goes around, he speaks to college students outdoors and like debates people. Basically, normally he'll debate people on the left. Actually heard that like, he doesn't only do that. That's the stuff that usually gets him popular, but he also debates like religion and
isn't he Christian?
Anything.
Or wasn't he Christian?
Yeah, but Utah's a Mormon state, right? And Christians and Mormons, they also do have differences, so he'll debate that too. He'll debate anything basically that comes up to him. But yeah, so he's a very controversial figure, and unfortunately this is like the norm now, but it was only crazy because this is someone who's like really big and has been blowing up and even getting who's becoming even more notorious online and in the political world as well recently. And he was on a big rise recently because he's been very close to the administration that's currently in America. But yeah, so this happened and like immediately it was twisted to basically fit anyone's narrative, mainly people on the right. But yeah.
It was crazy to me because I was just mindlessly scrolling on TikTok.
Don't tell me.
I saw it.
You saw it?
Like, did you actually see the video?
No.
It is insane.
As someone who's like chronically online, at least I'm not chronically online in other things, I'm only chronically online on TikTok.
Yeah, no, literally, I live on TikTok.
But I'm glad I didn't see it.
No, I saw it and I was like, oh, this cannot be real. And you know what's crazy is for the last almost 2 years now, we've been exposed to some very gruesome and brutal scenes from what's happening to the people of Palestine.
Yeah.
And I don't want to say that our minds have just been desensitized to it, but our minds have been desensitized. Like some of them, like we've seen the most horrific, like body parts annihilated, children with like limbs missing.
Let's not get too descriptive.
Sorry. But like I'm trying to give you an idea of like the things that we've seen online. And you guys, I'm sure, have also seen these things and you're horrified. But because you see it so often, it's almost like, I don't want to say it's expected, but in a sense, we're a little bit desensitized to it, which is a scary mental place to be in. Like the things that they experience are not normal, and the things that we've seen online is not normal. But to see this happening in a random state in the U.S. and this guy's at a university and he's just sitting there on the chair just talking and there's a crowd full of people.
It's the unexpected nature of it. Like he's literally in a place where you would least expect something like that to just randomly pop off, right?
Right. And it just like the accuracy is crazy. Like it was insane. Like because the way that it happened, it looks fake. Like it almost doesn't look real.
Yeah.
And so I saw that and I was like, wow, that's crazy. And then I came across this video. I have to play it for you. I sent it to you so I could remember.
Please tell me it's not super graphic.
It's not.
Oh, okay.
I was praying that if this had to happen here, that it wouldn't be one of us, that somebody drove from another state, somebody came from another country. Sadly, that prayer was not answered the way I had hoped for.
So the Utah government,
the governor of Utah,
wild that he even said this publicly, said after 33 hours that they were searching for the unaliver, that he was praying that it wasn't one of us. And then you can see he tried to like backtrack it by saying, I was hoping it wasn't someone that was like from Utah.
This state, yeah.
Get the F out of here. You know what you meant.
Or from this country.
He knows what he meant.
Yeah.
And
I was hoping to blame it on an immigrant.
Duh. Not even just an immigrant, but like actually there was a black page on Instagram that posted this originally.
Yeah.
And all the comments were saying like, thank the Lord it's not one of us.
But like the way this went about and like the fact that this is almost like a trend from what's been happening recently. Like I think this is like the 5th mass unaliving in like a week.
Well, this isn't a mass one. This is just one person.
Sorry, it's one. But just like when I say mass, as in like it's within a big group. It's happening within a big group, right?
Yeah.
So it's like the 5th one this week, and it's always been a specific type of person that has
white on white crime.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
So and the I think the most annoying thing about all of this is that even though the trend has always been, it's been a pale person, a white person, and they've been perpetrating all of these mass shootings or mass unaliving. I don't know if I can even say that word, but it's very iffy on YouTube these days. But it's always those people, yet for some reason they always go after the people of color or immigrants, which is so weird. Like that's immediately how they try or they go after just anyone who's this like this word they use leftist, but I think they know what image people get in their mind when you say that.
Yeah.
So they purposely leave it vague without having to actually like put a face to it because they know that the people that they're trying to reach are immediately putting a face to it. So that's why like there are other black creators on TikTok who are speaking out and saying like, we feel unsafe now because these people are angry and they rarely ever take it out on themselves. They're going to take it out on someone who looks different from them and blame them for whatever is going on, even though it's like you mentioned, it's literally white on white crime.
Yeah. And it's very ironic that unfortunately, like here's the thing, right? And I feel like this goes without saying, but in today's day and age, you kind of have to give disclaimers because everyone and their mama is hypersensitive nowadays. We are in no way celebrating his nor are we condoning it. like, we're not encouraging violence by any means. However, we're definitely not mourning him. We're not saddened. And, like, the sad part is that, unfortunately, for his wife and children, like, he was unalived on a very public, in a public and gruesome way. But you know who else is unalived in a public and gruesome way? The people in Gaza, the people in Congo, the Uyghur Muslims, and the list goes on. We've talked about it for the last how many years that we've been on this podcast.
Did you even know who Charlie Kirk was before this?
I had no idea.
Did you know about all the things he said in his past?
No, I looked into him and I saw that he was a strong advocate for
Is Not Real
and firearms.
Ironically enough, there was like a statement where he said that, you know, I'm willing to accept people being unalived with guns so I can continue to have them, or we can continue to have the right to have them, basically. He's like, a few unalivings every year from guns is worth having them.
Well, you're now part of your stat.
Yeah. But it was interesting seeing the reactions afterwards and how, like, it's almost like we're living in an upside down world, because when it happened, no one knew who did it at first, right?
Yeah.
But immediately the right, like all the Fox News, all these places, basically whatever, were essentially blaming it on the left immediately. Like, they didn't know who it was, whatever. They were making up their own narrative immediately and saying, this is the left's fault. We're currently at war, right? While at the same time, okay, they're saying we are now at war with whatever the left. Okay. But at the same time, they're criticizing the left and saying they should tone down the rhetoric because their rhetoric is causing violence. I know, right? So, like, it breaks your brain.
That makes no sense.
They do these like mental gymnastics where they're saying that the left has this violent rhetoric, while at the same time espousing like violent rhetoric and saying we're currently at war with the left. It's like, are you at war with it? Like, do we need to? Are you guys? You don't know how to react to it, and I think maybe they do it on purpose that way.
They do. It's to confuse the enemy.
Yeah, and the thing is that, like, I don't know if
That's crazy.
Yeah, like, I don't know if I identify fully with like the left. Well, Muslims are kind of in a weird place, right? Because there are certain things from both sides where, like, okay, you know, where you guys got that, whatever. So we're in the like grab bag. That's why they say a lot of times like Muslims don't really fit with the current society, but that's a whole other topic.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just interesting seeing how it's being flipped, how someone who, in my opinion, like after there's more information that came out, I feel like this is being done by people who just purely want chaos and they kind of know what they're doing. Like the person who perpetrated this act knew what he was doing by doing this and leaving it vague, or by, I don't know if we could talk about the stuff that came out afterwards. We've already covered him being alive, but I think it's been what day is it today? Friday. And today is actually 2 or 3 days after it's happened. Yeah. 2 days after it's happened.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they actually got the guy today. And as they were like putting out evidence about this guy, or evidence that they found on him or in the area that he was dropped his weapon, or whatever, they found these bullet casings. And there were certain things written on the bullet casings.
Oh, I didn't know this part.
You didn't hear about this part?
No, what did they find?
Yeah, so they found, and this is why I said, like, this is kind of like the MO, and like this is a trend that's happening now, because he did something very similar to what all the other recent mass unalivers have been doing, right? I'll just say the words. The mass shooters have been doing recently, where they're like sketch and write things on either their weapons or the bullets. But the things they're writing a lot of the times are like nonsense memes. So a lot of these guys, in my opinion, what I was talking about this earlier with Hanan, it's like, I feel like a lot of these guys purely are after chaos and just want to stoke the fires between the left and the right, have no real allegiance to either side, and just purely want to see how far they can push this.
That's terrifying.
It is. And because it's so easy to do that, and you can see how easily they've twisted this and now even created more of a divide.
That's so scary, because it's almost like they don't realize that you're actually like ending someone's life.
Yeah, they don't understand the
political viewpoints aside. Like, he's a human being at the end of the day.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
Yeah, and there was actually a Muslim influencer or TikToker I was listening to their opinion about it, and they were giving the Muslim opinion on it, where basically it's like in Islam, like no matter what, it's wrong to unalive someone who's innocent or hasn't done anything to you, right? So from a Muslim's perspective, like what was done was wrong. But like you mentioned also is that like you can separate between calling out something for being wrong and how you feel about that person, because he has said a lot of inflammatory, like we can go into the things that he said a lot of like inflammatory things towards let's go back to how you mentioned Palestine is not real, right? He literally denies the existence of Palestinian people and Palestine. He says it is not, he calls it Judea and Samaria. He doesn't even consider,
I've heard him say that.
He does not even consider Palestine to ever have been a place. So he's like, how can I even debate you if I don't even believe that this was a place? See, so is super disingenuous on how he even approaches some of these topics. Yeah. He's also said the things that we mentioned earlier about like not having sympathy and empathy, sorry. Or maybe even sympathy, right? And how he believes that like, whether sometimes the cost of having guns will be some lives. And, like we mentioned, he was one of the costs of those, right?
Right.
So he has said a lot of very inflammatory things, and there's a lot more. He said that like if his, we don't want to get stopped at the border, do we?
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Okay, let's not go any further.
Either way.
But yeah, so but those are the reasons why like you can say something is wrong, but it doesn't mean you have to like show any type of like remorse towards this person or any emotion towards them. You can be like, oh, okay, they're alive, whatever. It's like it was wrong, but it happened, and like there are consequences to actions, and maybe this was one of the consequences.
Literally, yeah. He unfortunately is suffering the consequences of his own actions and thoughts and beliefs and the things that he was saying publicly. But now that this has happened, I kind of left that question for us to discuss. Like, do we think firearm laws will finally be reconsidered?
No. Not even. Because you can clearly see, like, the narrative hasn't gone to, right after that, the narrative has gone to, oh, you know what, guys, we should probably pull back on the gun thing. It went back to immediately being like, this is the left going too far. Even though it has nothing to do with them.
What about all the mass shootings that happen and, like...
They're never going to address the elephant in the room.
So they're just going to continue to have annual mass shootings at schools where kids are literally getting unalived.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, like, I think that you should have already like expected that when the first one happened. When a school of literal like children were unalived.
Yeah.
And nothing was done. Not one law was changed. Nothing.
Here's the thing. I'm not saying like eliminate firearms completely. The law should just be a little bit more strict. Maybe the requirements of owning one should just be a little bit stricter.
Their solution would be actually to allow more guns to be out there and to allow everyone to have them in any case. Like they can, like, actually, ironically enough, in that in Utah, and I believe even in that campus, they recently passed a law. I don't know if it was recently, but yeah, pretty recently they passed a law where basically you're allowed to bring a gun on campus. Open carry on campus.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so they're going in the opposite direction.
Like, I understand the right to like be able to protect yourself. That's different. I feel like Toronto needs that, to be honest. Out of all, like, when you hear about all of these like break-ins that have been happening, did you hear about the guy that got unalived 2 weeks ago now?
Yeah.
The Muslim guy. And so like, I'm not going to get into my own personal beliefs on what I think about firearms, but should Toronto have the right to protect themselves in those situations? Yeah. That's a whole different conversation. In terms of having open carry in a university campus, why would you need to protect yourself against a mass shooting? Yeah,
like they're always thinking about that 1% case where you might need one when you're on campus. But even in those cases, I always tell people, like, okay, let's say everyone was allowed to have them, and you have a case where there is a mass shooter out there, right? And then everyone pulls out their guns, but no one knows who the shooter is. What do you think you're gonna have? You can have a bunch of people who don't know who the shooter is and start just going at each other. Because when a cop is running around a corner and he sees someone with a gun in their hand, he doesn't know who the shooter is yet. He's going to automatically assume that you are some type of combative. He doesn't know there's multiple shooters. So it never, even in that case that they think they're gonna be a savior or whatever, like you can be quickly confused for the actual perpetrator and become unalived. So it doesn't even work in that case or whatever case they're trying to bring up to allow them to have these weapons in school. So it's never made sense, and you have literally the whole world that's constantly cracked down on these things as proof for how effective they can be, how these gun laws can be effective.
Yeah, but like think of like places like London. They don't have guns, but there's so many stabbings there.
How many mass shootings do you hear about though?
Yeah, they don't have any mass shootings.
Exactly. So and the thing is that like, how are you going to regulate knives? Anyone can pick up one, right?
Yeah.
So, but it's not happening as often. And the amount of people you can even reach with a knife, you have to get up close and personal with that. Yeah. You can literally shoot from 30 feet, like how 200 feet away that they showed with that dude, Charlie, whatever. It was like literally a dot away, and you could barely see him, and he was able to do that. Right?
That's because what I'm saying. The accuracy was crazy. Yeah. It was crazy.
But no, there's going to be no laws changed. And those people, the people who are perpetrating this know this. And that's why they're making a joke out of it, basically. Even if it's something as like crazy as unaliving person, they don't, because a lot of them are incels as well, right? So they don't even have that connection. They're so like disconnected from society that they don't realize the severity of what they're doing. Or maybe they do, but they just have gone so far off the edge that they don't even care anymore.
That's really scary.
Yeah. And like, I can even give you examples of the things. I think I was going to mention this earlier. I can give you examples of like the things he was writing on these, he was etching on these bullets. Okay. So I have it pulled up here. So one of the things written on this, it almost makes no sense, but it says notices bulges. Ooh. What's this? He wrote that on a bullet case, the one that was used. He wrote that on it, right? And then the other thing he wrote down was, "Hey fascist," with an exclamation mark, catch, and then it has up, right, down, which is a command in a game called Helldivers 2 to call in basically the mother load of bombs, or like a bunch of bombs. Yeah. These are things that he etched on the bullets. Like, this shows you how unserious these people are and why I feel like their only goal is to create chaos. And then there were other things like he wrote down the lyrics to Bella Ciao. You know that song, like Bella Ciao? He wrote Bella Ciao, Bella Ciao, Bella Ciao, Ciao, Ciao. He wrote that on a bullet. So
yeah, but you know what that's from? From Money Heist.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Apparently, it's also a resistance song in Italy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also the last one, it says, if you read this, you are GAY LMAO. I don't know if I can say that on here too, but yeah. So like, it's so unserious, and like these are things that you like. How do you even explain this to future kids? There are people who are like, how do you even add this to a history book? Because a lot of people are saying like, this is the things that are going to be written in history books, right? But like, to say that these lines are going to be written in some history book, like I can't even imagine them being added to it. Or are history books do they stop at a certain point? Because like, I feel like it's gotten so ridiculous now. Like, there's no reason. They should just like go from, what is it, 2020? Oh no, when did COVID really end? Like 2023? Yeah, like 2023 to like whenever this crazy timeline that we're on ends, they should just kind of like make that like a couple pages and be like, yeah, a lot of crazy shit happening here. Well, it's like, let's not get into this.
I feel like meme culture is so rampant.
Yeah.
Like, and it's part of social media that we always talk about on the podcast.
Yeah.
So I think it'll be included, but it'll also serve as like, maybe that was like something worth decoding, or they would make the connection of like, this song is related to resistance, and that's why I
don't think it's that deep, especially with that first etching that I mentioned. Everything else below that just shows you how unserious they are about this, and like they really just doing it for the memes. Like they're literally unaliving people for the memes.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I'm sure there's some Discord group out there or some Telegram group that's like cheering this on and, you know, making jokes about it, making memes about it.
They found some of his posts on Discord.
Yeah. See, so I'm telling you, man, it's all just incels who already feel crazy. Like, because to them, they feel like their life is already over. They feel like they have nothing else to live for. So why not just unalive someone and create chaos in the world? Because that's the only way they feel that they can have some impact. So they're just going to do that because it's like, what else are their lives are already over in their eyes. So why not go out with a bang? Like some of them actually do by, you know, unaliving themselves. But other ones like this one, maybe he didn't have the guts to do it because they're already like weak men mainly weak men to begin with. So maybe he didn't have the guts to go through it. And, you know,
not everyone would agree that he's a weak man, but, you know. So in other news, more tragic news to come. I feel like we're like news reporters at this point. I'm sure you guys have seen the name Irina Zarutska, who was also unalived in the States on a bus in North Carolina. The footage of her is also online. And it honestly seems like a true random attack. Like this person just gets up from behind her, stabs her, and then just walks to the front of the bus. And you can literally see her like.
Did you watch it?
Yeah.
Why are you watching these videos?
Because I was doing research.
You literally just watched someone get unalived, and that's not research.
No, but the video that they were showing, it like
cuts off.
It cuts off before she stabs her, and then it shows her. And then it shows Irina like her react. It's actually a very sad video because it was like she didn't even know what happened. Like she probably felt it and was like, "What the hell?" And then when she saw that
she's bleeding,
she was bleeding out, she just sat there to herself and cried. And to see the other people on the bus, like, so here's the thing. In the footage, you see what happens to her. One man immediately, like the one who stabbed her just walks to the front. There's another man who just walks right by her. And then there are, another lady also walks right by her. And then there are two other people that just like stay where they were. And so there's a lot of criticism that these people are facing now because they're saying like, oh, like these people didn't even check on her. Like she's just bleeding out and dying by herself. And like how inhumane is this? Like they just walked right by her.
I don't think that matters. Like that's just bystander effect.
Basically. It is, but at the same time, it's like it happened so quick that I don't know. Like the other side of the argument was like, do these people even know what just happened? Like, yeah, you can see the blood is like literally all over her clothes and the floor of the bus. Yeah. But these people are probably either scared for their own lives. Yeah. And like, if they try to help her, what if this person lunges at them? So I don't know. Like, I'm just thinking about like.
I don't think that's the important part of the story.
About them
like,
not.
Okay, because like that's expected. You don't know what you could be one of those people. I feel like me or you, like if that happened in front of you, you wouldn't know how to react either. You wouldn't know. Yeah, you wouldn't be able to tell you. You wouldn't be able to tell me right now how you would react in that situation because you haven't ever been in that situation, so you don't know how you would react. You're
literally in fight or flight mode. Even if you weren't the one that got stabbed, there's still someone that's a threat to your safety. You're in fight or flight mode. Yeah. So you're either going to jump in and try to save her, or you're gonna go and tackle this person. Yeah. But you're trying to like make this immediate decision of like, is it worth me risking my life? Can I take this person? Can I handle it? That type of thing. Or am I gonna get support from other people on the bus? Yeah. The other thing that I thought was interesting was how much they broadcasted this, and it's like, oh, poor her. That's the like
big thing here. Like that's like the interesting part of the story where how this is something that happened 2 months ago and they're currently using it. I feel like the right is using it as like a way to kind of push whatever narrative they're trying to push again, right? Because it's always the right. Things like this, and the thing is that it's always like the last story you spoke about. This focus is always on the wrong thing. They're focusing on how
the black people didn't react.
Are they focusing on that? No, that's the narrative. They're just focusing on the violence itself, like the violent act itself, and how crime is on the rise, and using this for their narrative on how crime is on the rise generally. But like things like this kind of happen all the time. It was really the what they should be focusing on is the fact that like this person has a history of mental illness. The officers that, not the officers, what would you call them?
The probation, the judge, the person that
judges,
decides whether they're not.
Yeah, the judges and the officers, whatever, they're all warned that this guy was dangerous by his own mother. That said that he's been acting crazy. He's been saying and doing crazy things, and like he's a danger to society. I think they said he was arrested like 14 times before this.
Wow.
Yeah, like, and it was a big like mishandling of justice, but also like just showing you how lack of resources led to this.
Yeah.
How if they had proper like mental health experts on their teams to be able to diagnose this person, or I think it would have been easy to just tell like this person was clearly not in their right mind. He could have been put in a place where he could have been taken care of, or he could have been watched over in a way that wouldn't allow him to just be out on the streets. Because you could see even on the video, I saw it before everything happened, you could see that he was clearly like having some episode before that happened. He was twitching, he was moving weird, he was not acting like a normal person. So this is really just, it should be more, the narrative should be around how there needs to be more emphasis on taking into account someone's mental health and how to like properly book these people, and like not just be like, oh, you know what, we don't have enough time to kind of look deeper into this.
Yeah.
Let's move on, just let him back out on the streets.
That's so, it's very sad. Like her situation as well, like again, it's very sad, and I feel like we in Toronto also have a mental health crisis.
Unfortunately, it's something that's like looked over on almost every
major
level
city
of government or major city in North America. It's not taken as seriously as it should be.
It should be.
Yeah, I'm saying it should be, but it's not taken as seriously as it should be, right?
Yeah.
And it's clearly like this thing wouldn't have been a big story also if we don't mention like the whole racial factor of it.
Yeah.
Like it's a big black man with dreads. Like this is they're perfect. What are the caricature that they always have in their mind of like who they think is the aggressive people. Yeah. And then they have this, this Ukrainian white girl
who left her country.
Yeah, who left the country. First off, they don't care about immigrants. They're now just using her because of her connection to whatever's going on in Ukraine and Russia, and also the fact that she's white and she was much smaller and she was viciously attacked. It's unfortunately how they're twisting this and not focusing on the right things, and like how everyone thought the whole racial factor and stuff is long in the past, but it's never gone away, and it seems to even be getting worse now.
Oh, racism is like rampant. Like it's very, people are more open about it now. Actually, I've been getting a lot of these TikToks in the last like 2 days warning the locals in London to stay, like Muslims to stay home, because apparently there's this like march protest that's happening by right-wingers. Yeah. And there were some voice notes that were leaked in their group chats, essentially saying that they were willing to unalive any Muslims that they come across for tomorrow, September 13th.
Yeah. I don't think Muslims roll deep in UK. They're not going to do nothing. If they do anything, it's going to be all out war. There's no way.
I don't know, because
it depends on where they do it.
It's like central London.
Yeah, like I feel like London can... Out there, they're more connected, I feel like, the Muslim community out there. And they don't really take as much-ish as they would, like, maybe here in Canada or in Toronto specifically.
What do you mean? Somalis run the streets in Toronto. But they would handle it.
They're not... Somalis are Somalis, okay? It's a different... It's like
everyone fears them here.
No, but it's not that. It's like every community kind of looks out for their own. Like, it's not... I don't know how... Maybe it is like that in the UK. I'm not sure. But I feel like the connection between the Somalis and the Bengalis maybe doesn't roll as deep as it does in the UK. Maybe the people in the UK can like give us more insight there, but like, do you feel like the different ethnic groups are a little bit more connected there? Also, I feel like because it's a more smaller city in density. Sorry, not smaller, but like it's a more dense city. So everybody's kind of more closer together, more on top of each other, at least from what I've seen. So it might be a little bit segregated, but at least you're not like, it's not like where you have like Pakistani and Bengali and like Mississauga, and you have like the Somalis in Etobicoke.
No, but like it's like if push came to shove,
Mm-hmm.
I think Muslims, regardless of your ethnic background, would
Mm-hmm.
come together to support each other.
But
But
I'd like to believe. I'd like to.
yeah,
believe
like
that.
that. If it really came down to
Mhm.
it,
Yeah.
I think so.
Really?
Yeah.
But it depends on what
or-
it is.
In this case where they're literally being threatened
Mm-hmm.
and they're being warned to stay home because there's a potential violent outbreak that could happen.
Yeah. I'd like to believe that.
I don't
in
think
Toronto specifically.
Yeah, Toronto, UK, wherever.
Mhm.
But even in Toronto, I really don't think
If they're like threatening like a Somali mosque or something,
we'd have to pull up.
ain't
for our
nobody. Yeah,
people.
ain't nobody. Ain't nobody touching that place. But I don't know. It depends. I feel like on the community. But that's just my opinion. Okay, it could be
Okay,
wrong. It
you're
could be wrong, right?
You are entitled.
I just feel like I feel like the UK is a little more like tight knit, or like more like they, they got more group chats together.
Well,
Their group chats connect. Ours don't as much.
we have a lot of UK listeners. Are y'all okay? Because
Mhm.
you're gonna be listening to this after the 13th.
Oh, yeah.
So let us know what's the tea. What happened?
No, I trust my UK Muslims out there. They'll be okay. Okay. Yeah, don't worry about that. Inshallah. But okay, to go back to
The rise of racism, blatant racism.
Yeah. So this is just another kind of like notch. They're trying to turn the notch a little bit more, or the knob a little bit more, to turn up the racist rhetoric, basically. And this is just a story to kind of add on top of that when it comes to Irina Zaruska. Right, and they're just gonna keep coming out with stories like this, because like I mentioned, this happened like 2 months ago.
Yeah,
and
I
it's,
didn't
and
realize
it's coming
it was
out
that
now
long ago.
for a reason. Like these things don't just blow up for no reason, right? I feel like a lot of times these things are brought to the limelight when they feels like it can fit their narrative and push a certain idea they're trying to get out there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's unfortunate, but at least in other places in the world, there is a lot more union. Not going on. Yo, shout out to our people, the Ethiopians out there. We did something. No.
Oh my God. Oh, you're right.
Yeah, there you go. After 14 years and $5 billion invested, Ethiopia has finally completed its dam. There you go. Yeah, so this has been a big thing. A big investment for the country, and we've been hearing about it for a long time. There has been a little bit of controversy, but we'll get to that later. Okay, let's talk about the positives right now.
Let us
because as we've visited Ethiopia, you haven't. I don't know. Maybe you've experienced it too, but like in Ethiopia, when we were there, like they were experiencing like rolling blackouts.
Oh yeah.
Almost all the time, because the city itself, like essentially, Ethiopia only had enough power to like power up, I think, like 45% of the country, or like 45 to 55% of the country. And they would have to like constantly have rolling blackouts. And even the capital, Addis Ababa, they're having rolling blackouts in like the outskirts of the city for the most part. And like you would be going like 8 to 10 hours without power just so they can kind of keep the grid going or keep things going.
Yeah. Don't you remember all those times? Like, I don't know about you, but I was definitely woken up at the crack of dawn, and my aunt would always, especially when we were in Teredo and it was hot.
Yeah.
And my aunt would be like, wake up and take a shower now before they turn off the electricity. You're not going to have cold water. And I was like, fine.
See, so it's definitely been a big issue in Ethiopia, and it is a big issue for other reasons I'll get into, but now they finally completed the dam, and they said this will basically provide the additional power that Ethiopia needs to be able to power 100% of the country and then some.
Yeah,
so they're going to be able to
amazing.
even get additional power, which they can use to invest back into the country, because when you have a surplus of power, now you can invest in newer technologies, you can develop more, right? Because you're not trying to ration as much.
Right.
When you're rationing, you can't really think about investing in new technologies and developing more, because you kind of have to deal with what you have right now.
Exactly.
But this opens up a lot more doors for the country.
Yeah.
And also people who have never had electricity in the past in Ethiopia will now, with the infrastructure being built, they'll be able to, hopefully with the infrastructure being built, because, with all this with all this happening, we still have to remember, there's a lot of corruption that goes on in these countries.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, I'm not going to call out certain names. Let's just say things do, there's a lot of bureaucracy. Okay.
Yeah.
But inshallah, those people who have been wishing for power, like people who literally live like a kilometer outside of the main cities or the bigger cities, finally have at least the potential to get electricity now.
So that's a huge win. Like, imagine no longer having to use like manual appliances. They can use electric appliances.
Yeah.
This is inshallah going to be like a good thing for the country, and hopefully, because I know that they're also going through like a cost of living crisis. Like it's
so there are a lot of other things going on in the country that they still need to work out. We're always hopeful. It's definitely been like they've had a huge like downturn, at least economically, in the past couple years. Unfortunately, so that's been affecting them a lot. But this should hopefully turn things around for the country. I'm hoping for always better leadership, and hopefully they can work those things out, because like every other, all Africans know out there, we can be pretty tribal. At least the older generations can be a lot more tribal. I don't know about the younger generations. I feel like we're kind of more like, we're less on that.
You're pretty optimistic with that.
I guess maybe in the West. Back there, I think they probably still have those ideas. Really?
It depends.
Okay. Well, I'm being hopeful. I'm being naive. Yeah. I just hope that they can work those things out, because the stories I've heard from how like petty this stuff gets, it does bring a lot of caution to what's going to be happening in the future. But I'm hoping for the best right now. Okay.
Yeah.
Because it's also how it benefits like other countries, like now that they have a surplus, they can invest in themselves, but also provide sell power to other countries around surrounding them. But yeah, so that's all the positives that are going into this. But there has been a lot of controversy that even it's been controversial even before or while it was being developed.
Yeah.
And the reason for that is because this dam was actually placed over the River Nile, right?
The Nile River.
The Nile River, sorry. The Nile River.
Yeah.
Which, of course, everyone knows the Nile River is a famous river that also goes past Ethiopia, but also goes to Egypt.
But doesn't it start in Ethiopia and then goes through Egypt?
Yeah, it goes up towards Egypt. And Egypt has been... I haven't looked into science, okay? But they basically said that this will, like, affect their water supply significantly.
Will it?
That, I'm going to take them slightly at their word. I just hope that, like, Ethiopia has taken some precautions.
Yeah.
Because, it is like, if I was Egyptian, I would be concerned. I'd be like, yo, like, we're going to lose like half the flow of water that we normally get, or the half the water that we normally get. Like, I don't know there's probably a lot of things that they currently use it for, or that they're used to. There's a certain flow that they're used to, and to have that interrupted in some way probably will affect a lot of things in Egypt.
My assumption was that they no longer had control over the water.
What do you mean?
Like essentially it's all about money, right? And that's why I assumed that the government was like expressing vocally how
the Egyptian government?
Yes, the Egyptian government saying like, Ethiopia should suit up.
Yeah, so there has been a lot of, rhetoric and a lot of posturing going on about possible reactions to them finishing this project.
I will say, if Egypt wants to come for Ethiopia, just know the African nations will come together.
And technically they are Africa, but
they are, but they're in the north.
Exactly.
The rest of Africa will come together and support and unite.
Yeah,
stand against the oppressors.
Like, the surrounding countries do benefit from it as well.
Of course they do.
Yeah. So it's going to be interesting seeing what happens now that it is completed. Like, I was also concerned about like how this will affect them.
Yeah.
But now that it's completed and it's currently in operation, like, okay, let's see, were they right about how this affects them, and is there like maybe a workaround on how they can kind of like everyone can win in this situation?
They might like sell something back to them. I don't know. It looks like maybe there's an opportunity to make more money and to help the Ethiopian economy, but I don't know. President Abiy, or whatever his title is, needs to smarten up a little bit.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting seeing what happens after this. But I'm just happy that the country can start investing back in itself. I'm just hoping that a lot of the bureaucracy that gets in the way.
Don't get canceled from Ethiopia too. They're gonna ban it from the States, from Ethiopia. The man's staying put in Toronto.
I just hope that can be worked out before, so this project is successful long term. Okay.
Yeah. In other corrupt nations.
Oh my God.
Just kidding.
Go ahead.
Not my segues. What's going on in Nepal?
I wish I knew the details.
I saw it and I was like, wow.
I just know what's happening on TikTok.
Yeah,
so
same.
Essentially, the students or the young people in Nepal, they saying like it's a Gen Z revolution, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like Gen Z took down the government. That's the
honestly
story that's going out there.
Props to you, Gen Z. That's all I gotta say.
They've been pointing out a lot of corruption in the country. They're saying like,
take notes, everybody. The rest of the Gen Z around the world, take notes.
I feel like Gen Z in the West is kind of cooked, but still, Gen Z and the rest of the world, I still have hope in y'all, okay? Because we can clearly see like, they were upset with the government. The government was not listening to them, and the thing that really kicked it off was that like the government's reaction, because the government reaction was immediately like, oh, you guys are protesting? Let's unalive a bunch of you guys.
That's crazy.
They started like opening fire on them, and I think it was like 19 to 20 people were unalived in these protests. And at that point, it was like no holds barred. Like even though after that, oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, I saw one of the like posts that they lit the government's house on fire while his wife was still inside. And then I also saw, I don't watch anime, but I saw on one of their like tanks or whatever they were using, there was a One Piece flag. I know One Piece is like really big in the anime world, so I was just like, "Wow, it was really
big in the rest of the world." Okay, not only the anime world, everyone.
What is
outside of the West?
Does One Piece represent like revolution?
Yeah, it's like they're pirates.
Oh,
yeah,
that makes a lot of sense. I genuinely saw that.
Did you not see like the
I did, but I was like, did they edit that to have that, or was that like the original?
Like that, yeah. Jolly Roger, like, man, come on now.
No, but I was genuinely like, yo, these kids and their anime, bro. Everything is about anime. That makes sense. Yeah. Wow, they really thought that out.
Hey, it's Gen Z, I'm telling you. So, they did that. They burned everything down, literally.
I saw.
And to the point where, like, when they were burning down their parliament, there were people inside there that had to be, like, helicoptered out of it.
I saw that, too, yeah.
So, that was happening. And
didn't the prime minister step down eventually?
Yeah, actually, the thing is that the prime minister actually stepped down before all that started happening, but it just wasn't enough. Like, there was just so much that was being unaddressed and being, like, brushed over that they're like, nah, we got to take it all down. And the funny thing is that there was actually a new, like a temporary prime minister, whatever, put in place. And what's that sound?
Are you calling someone?
Oh shoot! I'm pressing the emergency button on my phone by accident. We're good. But yeah, they actually elected like a temporary prime minister, a temporary leader for the country. Who's I forget what the woman's name was, but the way they elected her was through Discord. Yeah.
What?
It was a Discord with 150,000 people in it.
Whoa.
Yeah, that voted for her to become the interim leader, basically. So, yeah, it's just interesting seeing how Gen Z, at least in other parts of the world, that hasn't been completely
silenced. Not
only silenced, but I feel like it's also they're educated. Like the government always will fear uneducated.
That's very true.
Voter base, right?
Yeah.
Educated base in general.
Yes.
And that's why a lot of times whenever there's a new, whether it be a fascistic government or a, what do you call it again? A dictator who's in place or trying to become a dictator, basically, the first thing they go for are the intellectuals and the students. Because those are the people who are usually the best at articulating themselves and speaking out against governments and converting people and convincing people about what's going and about what's going on and how they can change it. So it was interesting seeing that they're the ones. This is an example of an educated base being able to take over and show that no matter how many people, no matter how powerful you think you are, the people are more powerful. These are people you work for. So, if we don't like what you're doing, get out of there or we're going to take you out ourselves.
It's an inspiring story.
Yeah. I don't think it's anything that's ever going to happen in the West because going back to education, unfortunately, there's a literal quote from the Orange Man where he says, "I love my uneducated voters," right?
He said that.
I think I'm paraphrasing, but it's literally almost exactly like that line. He loves his uneducated people, whatever, and that's I think the goal of a lot of the American government generals, where like they don't want to invest in education because they know that if they invest in education and you have an educated base, they're less likely to continue to pull the wool over people's eyes and get away with what they want to get away with, right?
Manipulate the masses like that.
Exactly. And maybe this is actually like gonna push other governments who are currently trying that, like here in the West, to keep driving at that because they could see what the consequences, in their eyes, the consequences are of having an educated base. But we're still happy for the people of Nepal. And I hope that whatever grows from this, whatever comes out of this, will be exactly what they're looking for. And they'll be like an example for the rest of the world on, what a true, like, what do you call it again?
When you're united?
Yeah, when a true united people look like. What a true united people look like. Yeah. So, yeah, that's what happened to Paul. And, we're kind of proud of them and hope that they can get whatever they're looking for. The thing is, I don't have as much details.
Yeah, I know.
On exactly like this step by step what happened and what they're looking for, but still at the end of the day, man, I'm never gonna go against the people.
Yeah, we are for the people.
Yeah. So the last, I don't know if it might be good news. Good news to one guy for sure.
Yeah, it's good news for him.
So I don't know if y'all heard, but Neymar may be inheriting $1 billion.
Crazy.
Yeah, from a super fan, and like
he had a billionaire super fan. Like
the thing is like, okay, this story. Let me tell you what it is first. So there's this billionaire guy. I think it's unnamed. I can't remember what his name was, but that's not important here. He's like a 31-year-old dude.
He's 31 and he was a billionaire?
Yeah. So he wrote in his will that like if he passes away, his $1 billion fortune will basically go to Neymar. And the only reason he gave is that I have no family. I have no like,
he didn't have a girlfriend, a wife,
nothing.
One.
He had no one.
Damn.
But he was just such a big fan of Neymar that he thought that he could do better with whatever he could do better with that money than anyone else that would take it.
Wow.
Yeah. But the reason that like now that coming out, I was kind of sketched. I was like, this is kind of weird. It's like, okay, what's going on here? I wanted to figure out like, did he actually accept it? But the first thing or the last thing that every article says that like they reached out to Neymar's team and he hasn't said anything about it.
He's trying to enjoy his billions in silence.
No. About like even reaching out to get the money or whatever. Like, I don't think he's even accepted this money yet. And then some other articles were saying like it's estimated or not estimated. It's possible that this person didn't even have $1 billion to give away. It was almost like if I have $1 billion. So there's a lot of like, sketchiness with this story, and there's not a lot of like big, news pages that I saw that were picking it up, but it was all over TikTok, was all over YouTube. But I think it's interesting how like, on the internet recently there's been this big talk about like parasocial relationships.
Yes. We've talked about that before.
You talk about that, right? Where people feel like they know someone.
Yeah.
Right? Because this person who has never had any interaction with Neymar, like he's just a huge fan of him, and yet he was still willing to give him like it's like he could have given away to charity. Things, right?
Yeah.
Yet he felt like such a connection with this person that he's never met, that he was willing to give him like $1 billion. And it shows you how like the internet has kind of like warped a lot of people's mind, because this guy was 31, so he grew up like around our age, like he basically grew up with the internet.
Yeah,
and I feel like that really affected his decision making. Do you not feel that?
If I was a billionaire, I don't care how much I admired a celebrity, I would never leave it for them. That's crazy.
Because I don't know how, you don't even know, like, if let's say he does have $1 billion, how did he make that money? He could have been just one of those really lucky people who had a bunch of Bitcoin initially and just won big on it. So
I mean, maybe.
Because being a billionaire these days or being a millionaire these days doesn't mean that you're a smart person or you make smart decisions.
That's true.
You could just be lucky.
That's true. That's very true. Or maybe he was tax evasion. I don't know. Do they have tax evasion?
I don't think from tax evasion alone. I don't think you're making $1 billion.
No. I mean, like, tax evasion is what got him unalived, and he left it.
That's the one thing part of the story. Is he actually unalived, or was he unalived, or is he
still alive?
Is he still alive? Yeah.
Maybe that's why Neymar Jr. isn't coming. Is he Jr.? Yeah. Maybe that's why he's not commenting on it.
Let me see. Let me search that up right now. I think 1 and 2 years later. So okay.
He's still alive?
No.
What?
So another thing I just saw in here is that this story is from 2 years ago.
Why is it coming out now?
Because it says it was mentioned on a Brazilian TV show recently. First off, I also didn't know that Neymar was in Brazil. Get
the hell out of here.
I thought he was in Europe.
He plays for that. He's Brazilian.
I didn't know that. That shows you how little I know
Amir,
about
even I know
soccer.
that.
I did not know that he was on the Brazil. I thought he was in Europe this whole time. I thought he was playing for like France or something.
Amir,
does he not play with Mbappe? I also heard like Mbappe talk recently, and like I didn't know he sounded like that. He doesn't sound like he looks. You know, someone like doesn't sound like they look like he. Yeah, I thought he spoke like proper English. You know?
No, he's literally French. Dude,
I thought he was a man from like the South London or something.
What? He literally is a French name.
I know, but like I was so confused when I saw that because I don't know. You just make up things in your mind, especially when you don't watch the sport or you watch any sports at all. You kind of like put things together in your mind that may not be. But yeah,
I mean, I guess. I don't know.
What would you do if someone gave you $1 billion?
You would never know, but there would be signs.
Yeah, for real. That is a thing, though.
Yeah, I wouldn't tell a soul.
Mm-hmm. That's what's funny. I probably wouldn't either. And the thing is that like I don't know how much my life would change. Like it would change, but not like you mentioned. There would be signs.
There would be signs, but I also wouldn't. I wouldn't be greedy with it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, obviously, to my friends and family, y'all just gonna get a fat envelope and don't ask questions. That's what I'm gonna say to you.
Yeah.
I'm like, Amir, open the door. Amir opens the door to his house. Fat envelope shoved in his thing, and then close the door and walk away. Don't talk about it ever again. Yeah. That's it.
Hey, I'm taking it. I'm not asking any questions.
I'm just gonna be like, don't ask questions. Bye. That's it.
Yeah, you could be like, what's his name, Franklin from Snowfall. It's like, oh, okay, where are you? It's like he becomes like a huge drug kingpin and stuff. It's like you're making your money off of drugs and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was recently watching a video essay on it. I was watching a video essay on it, and like I don't know why that just reference came to my mind. Okay. But yeah, you just made a lot of money from that. But like it's supposed to be secret or whatever, you know?
Right. But like, and so like I said, I would never talk about it, but there would be signs. Like Amir and I would probably have the podcast on a random beach somewhere, or we'd be in London one week and then Paris the next week, and then South Africa the week after.
Yeah,
and we would
just say, yo, these sponsors are really paying us well, you know, these secret sponsors.
We'd lie to you guys and tell you that it's all the green screen, but no, it's actually real.
Actually, yeah, low-key, these 180 episodes were just a setup this whole time to make it.
But yeah, maybe we'd finally start our merch at that point.
Finally invest in some good merch.
Like excellent quality. But you know, like I said, we wouldn't tell you guys.
Yeah.
There would be signs. We do random giveaways, slip in a couple $1,000s inside your giveaway basket.
Wait. You just give it away randomly? I guess, yeah.
Like to a giveaway?
I guess so.
Like if someone's in need, like.
Oh, okay, yeah, you know what? Sure. I'm being greedy, but it's okay. Yeah, go ahead. It's $1 billion.
$1 billion? What are we going to do with all that?
Actually,
I would invest a fat chunk of it.
Another thing I saw recently on TikTok was there's a guy who's like, I'm making like $100,000 to $150,000
I saw that too.
You saw that video, right?
Yes.
He said he's making $100,000 to $150,000 a month.
Crazy.
And he's like, honestly, after the $50,000 a month mark, like you just don't know what you do with your money. He's like, I could literally buy a Lambo every month and not feel it. Like it wouldn't be a thing, right? And I have thought about that. I was like, yeah, really, like even as someone who also knows about investing and all those things, like let's say even if you made $1 million, you could literally just put that money into an investment account and live off the earnings from that alone, right? For the rest of your life. So it really, and it doesn't take a lot. And like at some point, what?
You know what I'm going to say.
What are you going to say?
I've said this one too many times on this podcast.
Say it.
If you're listening, you know what I'm about to say. an esteemed poet.
Oh my God.
An esteemed poet. Biggie Smalls once said, the more money we come across. Was that Nas? No.
What?
Was that Biggie?
Oh my God. More money, more problems?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
The more money we come across, the more problems we see.
He did say that, and I did forget about that aspect of it.
Yeah, like.
But that's why you keep it a secret, like you mentioned.
Yeah.
I know it's hard to keep that stuff a secret, but
you know when people win the lottery, they used to show up in like masks and wigs and disguises and stuff to try and hide it. But then like people find out, and then your house gets robbed. You know, you can probably get unalived. I don't know.
Well, that's the thing. Like it would, if I ever did.
I'm lawyering up right quick. I'm gonna go lawyer ASAP.
Yeah, but I would hope that it wouldn't be from something like that.
Oh yeah, no, not lottery. We don't do haram.
But not only that, it's like I would just want it to be from something that like I built up, you know?
Or you want the money to come from your hard work?
Yeah.
You don't want the money to just fall from the sky?
You know what? I'm a liar. I probably wouldn't mind it.
No,
I probably wouldn't mind it.
Who's gonna say no? I don't want $1 billion.
Like, I'm trying to be really realistic. Okay.
Yeah, be realistic in your desires.
Yeah. First off, you're clipping this mic.
Am I?
Yeah.
My bad. My headphones are so quiet.
You're getting louder as the episode.
I know, it's usually the opposite.
Yeah,
exactly. Let me talk from here.
Yeah, I realized you stopped yawning as much, you know.
Because I'm piped up now. We're talking about money.
Is that what it is? That's what motivates you, huh?
Duh.
Okay. Women. See, guys?
Wow. Wow. We're taking it there.
I'll play.
Don't get us canceled.
I know.
Half of us, because, you know, I don't stand for what he says.
Yeah. But that's another thing to think about, guys. If you ever do just have money fall into your lap, immediately open up an investment account. Put that thing, you know, get someone who knows about investments if you need to, because you can easily make that, like, you can make that stuff grow to a point where, like, you can have double, depending on how you have it, how you invest it properly. Like, you can have double that in like 5 to 10 years. Okay, so you know, just think about the future. Don't lawyer be like people who get money and just spend it all immediately.
Lawyer up and get a good accountant.
Exactly. Yeah. Those are literally the first things I think about when someone say, "Oh, how would you do if you got this money?" It's like, I would double it up. You know, invest it immediately. Start some companies, right? Have some real like solid stuff under your belt. So like, you know, if the market goes down, you have like these companies you invested in that are still, you know,
speaking of
be smart, diversify.
Speaking of investments,
what?
I have to tell you a story.
What happened?
Of a cousin encounter.
What?
So we're calling our audience cousins.
Okay.
So I was at the mosque and we had just finished praying, and then one of this beautiful girl came up to me. She's like, "Sara, I actually want to come say hi to you." And I was like, "Yeah, hi." And so we start talking, and she had told me that she was listening to our episode where I was telling my Umrah story, and that inspired her to take her dad. So and her dad went in March, and she actually ended up reaching out to Warsami to do the tours in Medina, and they loved it, and they had such a great experience with him. So I was really happy about that.
Shout out to Warsami. What's this page called again?
Abu Musa. I'll put it in our description. If you're in Medina or planning to go and you want to do like a tour of all of the historical Islamic sites by someone who has a lot of knowledge, mashallah, hit up my boy Warsami. I'll put his details in the description. That being said, that wasn't the point of the story. The point of the story is she brought up the third space because she's an avid listener. Okay. And she's like, "Listen, are you guys serious about that? Because we really need a third space, like somewhere where, you know, Muslims can feel comfortable." And like, yes, of course, Ridgeway has become like a third space to a lot of people, but it's so over congested that it can be a little bit overwhelming, especially if you're not like a Mississauga local. Yeah. And you're just like coming from other parts of the city. Like, it's a lot. Like, you'll see when we go eventually.
Okay. And you'll see how it's changed, but okay.
I don't know. Okay, we'll see.
I'm just saying.
I haven't been in a few weeks, so I don't know.
I'll show you the stories later.
Show me after. Yeah. But I was like, really? And she's like, yeah, the girlies want the third space. And I was like, let me talk to Amir. See how much money we have. Yeah. But yeah, we need to open up a coffee shop / podcast studio ASAP.
Okay. I'll think about it. We'll see. Yeah.
Okay.
What were we talking about? Shit.
No, I think we're done now.
Okay, but you know what? Before to get to that third space, we'll need y'all to invest in us. And one way you can do that is by hitting that subscribe button. Okay?
Wow. What a beautiful, beautiful segue.
Make sure to like the video. Leave a comment for anything that we talked about today, whether it be Ethiopia building a dam or all the crazy stuff happening down south in America. And also, Cousin Connection Pod on Instagram and TikTok. Follow us there. We post clips almost every week. If you've done all that already.
Oh wait.
What?
Remember 2 weeks ago we told them to leave the emoji of the golfing guy?
Oh yeah.
Which I forgot. So when I started seeing people leaving comments of the golfing guy, I'm like, what? Why are they doing that?
Oh. Shoot.
And then I kept seeing it. I'm like, did we tell them to do this?
Yeah. How'd you forget about that?
But what?
I forgot about that.
What was the like? What were they gonna get out of it?
Huh?
What were they gonna get out of it?
Shout outs.
Oh, okay. Let's do the shout outs then, because there's a couple of them.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, we forgot to shout out all the people that we left a special message for at the end of the podcast last week. So we're gonna mention that now.
Mm-hmm. The first one is Lisanne Mulder, 8821, was the first person to leave it, and I responded to her, and I was like, "Girl, why are you leaving this golfing guy?"
No, you didn't.
Well, I realized I was like, "Oh, did we tell you to do this? My bad." Next person is FA6534, who comments a lot actually on our videos. So shout out to you.
And there's also Sarah9326.
That was me.
What?
No, I'm just kidding.
Oh,
just kidding.
Okay, and then you mentioned Salama K.
Oh yeah, Salama K.
Salama K is also out there. So shout out to all y'all who are what?
And this person, Zach A.
Zach A. Shout out to all the listeners who are actually listening all the way to the end here. Where it's all usually the same, but we little what do they call Easter eggs at the end here. Yeah. And we can actually should we put in another shout out right now? Should we do another one right now? Yeah. Okay. I feel bad because the people who waited over to the end last week, who put the comment in there, now they're gonna be the one who waited this week, so they're gonna put the comment in there. But it's a new one. You should put in the comments. You should put
pancakes.
Pancakes. Is that an emoji?
Yeah. Oh wait, actually,
do Androids have that?
Let me check because I actually don't know. Hold on.
Yeah.
Let me look real quick.
Girl, you didn't even check. You don't know?
Yes, it is. Pancakes is an emoji.
Okay, put a pancake in there. But yeah, other than that, I hope y'all liked the episode. I hope y'all did all the things I asked for earlier. If you didn't, just do it, man. Subscribe real quick. I'm just saying, okay?
It's free.
Exactly. Other than that, we'll see y'all next week. Okay, guys.
Bye.